What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are diving back into the Neo Zeon War and Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta. Last time, Jiro was sad about the loss of his sister. Glimy was left behind by his comrades and joined the Blue Unit of the African Liberation Front. In this episode, the Argama crew heads to Dublin, and Neo Zeon drops another colony. So let's get into this. The Satellon-class ship makes its way to Kilimanjaro. Haman makes her leave while Minerva gazes out to the Earth. The Argama team is making their way across the desert to meet up with the Argama. It seems that they have stolen one of the Zaku tankers that we mentioned in last week's episode. Puru is complaining about the heat. Everyone is sticky and tired. They need to take a break. Luckily, they are able to find a bed of water. It is a salt lake. As everyone plays, Judo is about to jump in, but he senses someone nearby. It is August and his team. He is still concerned about losing his position now that Glimy is back in command. Judo goes out in the Double Zeta. He takes out one of the Drysons with the quickness. Bicha comes in to help. August instantly retreats. Well, that was fast. Judo tells Bicha not to follow too far in, but Bicha tells him not to give him orders. Back on the Indra, August needs some form of strategy if they are going to take down the Argama mobile suits. Glimy takes him to a secret location and tells him that after he sees this, he must follow his orders until the day he dies. He shows August a clone of Puru in cold sleep. Glimy knows that August was sent to watch over Glimy. He wonders if August can betray Haman. August becomes loyal to Glimy. Bright is on his way to Dublin when August attacks the ship. He wonders where Judo and the team are. Judo finds it weird that they retreated so early. Rue fell asleep while keeping watch, but she wakes up and notices smoke in the direction of the Argama. The team goes to launch, but Bicha trips Judo and takes out the Double Zeta himself. Bright is happy to see Double Zeta coming in to help. While fighting Bicha, August proclaims that he don't need no new types or Puru 2 to win this battle. L in the Mark II rides Rue in the Zeta mobile armor form. Judo and Puru are in the Dodai Kai. He contacts Bright to prep the Hyakushiki. The Double Zeta Vernier thrusters are messed up. L comes to help, but the two are both struggling. Bright launches in Hyakushiki and Dodai Kai. Puru takes the reins of the Dodai, while Judo jumps onto the mobile suit. He goes in to attack August. August can't keep up, and Judo is able to destroy the Dryson and kill him. As he dies, he screams out for the Indra. The Indra? Aim higher, dude. That's like aiming for Zeon middle management. Judo proves that with Double Zeta or the Hyakushiki, Judo is better than Bicha. He goes to save his friend. On the Argama, Bicha learns a lesson that I'm sure he will forget next episode. Everyone is excited to finally wash all the sweat off their bodies. Back on the Indra, Glimy heads to Kilimanjaro. He says that unlike August, he plans to use more than just power to win this war. He looks over Puru 2's body. The team makes their way to Dublin. Bright tells Elle that humans spent centuries planting trees, and if they didn't interfere with nature, it would be a desert like the Sahara. On Earth, Haman is trying to find a new candidate for the Psycho Gundam Mark II, but she is struggling. She is looking over documents, which shows a picture of Rosamia, who was the previous pilot.
Hey, big brother!
A Zeon pilot named Arius Moma and his team is heading towards the Indra. Professor X, what are you doing here? After changing course, Judo wonders if Bright ever wants to see his family. Bright says he will see them if they survive. Judo is upset by this but doesn't respond. Puru uses her new type senses to feel that he is hiding his true feelings. She was able to sense for a moment that Judo wished that Puru died instead of Lena. She runs and takes off in the core top just as the enemy approaches their location. She didn't realize that Ino was in the core top as well. She cries and says that she will defeat the enemy even though she is alone. Ino reminds her that she is not alone. Professor X and his team of Bawus attack the core top. Puru says, I will kill everyone in this cockpit if I have to. Ino would like to live, however. That is when Bicha and Judo come in with the core fighter and core base. They all head to a lower altitude. Puru and Judo talk to each other psychically. A shuttle comes in and Bawus drop down to Earth. Bright touches down and meets up with the EFF higher-ups. Judo wanders off to go find Bright while the gang heads into the city to find the hospital. They are working out peace policies with Haman and are considering offering her Side 3. But Bright tells them that giving Zeon their home back will only ignite their will for independence. They believe that the AUG are in league with Anaheim Electronics. I mean, who isn't? They tell him to withdraw to Norway and ignore any fight. They say so with a sinister laugh. That is when Judo comes in and punches a fool. Meanwhile, we meet Fa, who is working at the hospital when she happens to notice one of the kids. She wonders if the Argama is around. Professor X and his team come into Dublin and begin destroying the city. Judo and Bright are being held prisoner when the building they are in catches fire. Luckily, Fa is nearby and senses Judo. The others make it back to the Argama and launches in their mobile suits. Fa uses her jeep to create a hole for Judo and Bright to break out. She takes them back to the Argama. That metaphor doesn't work on Fa. She hasn't been around Bright. You aren't helpful. Judo and Bright heads to the Argama while Fa heads back to the city to find Camille. Puru takes out Double Zeta on her own. Torres currently has command of the bridge. Hell yeah, let's see more of Captain Torres. Torres decides to lift off right before Bright and Judo make it back. Professor X's Bawu cuts through Bicha with ease. He is down in the water. That is when Puru and Double Zeta comes in to help out. Fa goes to check on Camille to realize that he is gone. The Argama finally lands and picks up the crew. EFF, along with the mayor of Dublin, want to confiscate the Argama, but EFF is in such a weak state that Bright just ignores them. However, they do notice Fa coming over. As she approaches, EFF tries to stop her. Judo comes in with a gun and says to the mayor, "Hey, have you ever been shot by a war orphan?" They let Fa go. Fa reunites with Shinta and Coom, who acted as their parents more or less during the Grips conflict. She wants the Argama crew to help find Camille. Fa, Shinta, Coom, and Mondo head out on foot while El, Ino, and Judo head out in the core pieces. Puru is left behind. She is bored, but suddenly she senses Glimy. She runs and takes the Mark II. The Mark II is still not repaired, but she wants to destroy the Sandra. Meanwhile, Glimy is fixing the Psycho Gundam Mark II. Professor Xavier wants to pilot it, but he can't handle its new type powers. That is when Puru comes in and attacks the ship. She throws the Dodai Kai right into the bridge. Professor X begins attacking her. She hears a voice in her head helping her through the fight. Puru stills Arius's base jabber. Alright, I'll stop calling him Professor X. The Argama begins approaching their location. They tell Judo to come back to the ship. He along with Rue get a familiar voice in their head. Everyone heads back. The Mark II runs out of energy. They are fighting around the Psycho Gundam Mark II, and they keep crashing into it. While fighting, for a moment, Puru gets consumed by the power of the Psycho Gundam. A voice comes into her head telling her not to be consumed. The Bawus are able to take out the Mark II. Puru passes out. Judo, Ino, and El dock and form the Double Zeta. A strange voice is also guiding Judo. Everyone regroups. Judo uses the high mega cannon, vaporizing one of the Bawus and clipping the Sandra. They all retreat and Judo goes to find Puru. As she wakes up, she says she knows where Camille is. They wonder if the voice in their heads were Camille this whole time. They head out to the bluffs to find Camille staring out to the ocean. Bright gets a message from Hayato and the Aldumla. They get a scrambled message about a colony from Side 4 making its way to Earth. They must get the Argama back to Dublin. Meanwhile, Camille finds God, like the same God Kanye claims to see. That is what Camille is seeing right now. Rakkan gets a message from Haman informing him of the colony drop. The Aldumla meets up with the Argama finally. The first thing that Bright does is show Hayato Katz's room. It still has a picture of the entire family. We find out that Hayato knows of his death, but he hasn't informed Frau Bo or any of the children yet. Damn, dude, it's almost been a year. Just rip off that band-aid. Judo tries to take Camille to Glasgow, away from the events of the colony drop, because they are afraid it is going to trigger him. Camille runs away. Quick, someone stop that autistic! Even though he is broken, he still wants to fight and help out. Hayato sees Katz and Camille and realizes that they are putting children in a messed up position, fighting their war for them. Hayato lets Fa and Camille take his shuttle to Glasgow. They wonder what Camille was trying to tell him. Rakkan launches in his Zaku III. The AMX-011 Zaku III is the evolution of the tried and true Zaku II. However, it is far beyond the power, speed, and maneuverability of the Zaku II. This unit is equipped with a 1.7 megawatt head beam cannon mounted in the mouth. Then why call it a head beam cannon if it comes out of the mouth? It also has a similar beam cannon and beam saber found on the Qibli. This unit was in the running for mass production alongside the Dovin Wolf. This mobile suit is also equipped with a beam rifle, a beam machine gun, bazooka, and interchangeable head-mounted Vulcans. This mobile suit will later be used by the sleeves, and like the Zaku II, will have many variants. Before heading out, Judo goes to talk to Puru in sickbay. She tells him that she loves him and to do his best. They have 4 hours till the colony drops. Ino, L, and Judo launch in the core pieces. The Argama and Karaba go to rescue as many citizens as possible. Suddenly, Rakkan comes in and attacks a boat, evacuating some citizens. The Argama team moves in to protect the people. Camille in Glasgow is able to sense the battle taking place. Specifically, he is able to sense Judo. Hayato is in the Dodai Kai when Rakkan surrounds him. His first response is to try to commit suicide, but Judo comes in to stop him. 1 hour remaining until the colony drops. They need to start making their retreat if they don't want to get injured. Core pieces transform into Double Zeta, but Rakkan goes in to attack the core fighter. Judo is vulnerable, but Hayato in the Dodai attacks him. Annoyed, Rakkan fires at the Dodai. As he goes down, he hears Kat's voice. Hayato is killed in action. Everyone retreats except for Judo, who wants to take down the remaining mobile suits. Rakkan goes into attack, but as the two battle, the colony comes crashing down. Dublin is obliterated. Camille looks out to the sky in sadness. And that will do it for this episode. Another day in Universal Century, another colony dropped. The ecosystem on Earth is ruined, and the people of Earth genuinely don't care. The less people on Earth means the less people they have to feed. And Neo Zeon most likely gassed and murdered all of the citizens of the Side 4 colony and then dropped it on Dublin. So everyone sucks in this universe. Next time, we finally see Puru 2. The crew will head back into space to find a new ship waiting at Levian Rose, and Glimy starts wearing black. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, the best way for controlism to take foot is by messing up Earth's environment so that no one could live there. I guess that is one approach. Or in Zeon's case, the only approach. Peace.